Welcome to Live Answer Time for January 20th, 2024. Hi, Roger.
Hey, Rob.
What's new in Indiana?
So I have a start on something here, but it's
Oh, really? Okay.
you know,
I'm expecting Edward to show up, but he's not here, so let's look at it.
yep. So let me share my screen. Tim had asked me about modeling a spaceship for him, and I decided since I'm out of practice, it might not be bad to have a go at it.
Okay.
This is the spaceship that he was looking to have modeled, and it looks kind of like a Star Destroyer, but it's different. It's got a bunch of these weird, like, it's got a ton of angles, right? Like on first glance, it looks pretty simple, but then you start looking at it some more, and then you realize you're going to have to really break it up to do it right.
Yeah.
Because this right here is its own section, and I got that knocked out. But then I started looking at the bottom of it, and I'm thinking, okay, well, I got to break up this bottom portion into at least, well, this right here can probably be one piece by itself.
Yeah.
But then you got to deal with the the wing, or I guess that's a wing. It's like a flying body
Right.
craft. So this is what I came up with. So I've got that
Okay. that's a
back end of
cross-section.
it,
Yeah.
and then this is the start of that bottom portion. Technically, I guess I should have run a spline out to here. I'll do that in a minute, and then redo the copy, flip, attach. But something kind of struck me as odd, and I'm sure this is because I'm so rusty. But when I tried to extrude this little widget there out, that little section, like if I select that and hit extrude, it does that.
Go up to Tools Properties, or Tools Options.
Tools options.
And I think try the Modeling tab. Okay, that's not it. Go to the Units tab. Okay, there we go. Paste, extrude, offset. So right now, it's set to go automatically down 10 pixels when you extrude in the Y direction.
Okay.
So you could zero that out. And now that checkbox, use CP spacing for extrude. You could undo that. Okay, go back to hit OK on that. Now select your outline again, and now when you hit the E key or hit extrude, now it'll appear that nothing has happened. You can drag that out.
Okay.
And now let's see.
Guess I should drag that way the hell out.
Yeah. And now you have to be careful that you're actually dragging it horizontally. Let's see, I forgot, does animation... you could have used the cursor keys, actually. Why don't you delete that thing that you're dragging right now? And do the extrude again. And use your cursor keys to drag it out. And now you'll get it exactly horizontally. And if you use shift cursor, you can go faster.
I think it's about that long.
So that's why that did that. But you got to remember every time you extrude that the new outline is sitting on top of the old one.
Right.
Something I would say stylistically, let's just look at that big outline from the side. Go back to your model. Oh wait, let's see here. Can we zoom in on this picture anymore? Yeah, now turn around that. So actually there's kind of an inset
Yeah, there. This bit here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like it's got a Death Star trench on it.
Yeah.
That won't be too hard to do, I don't think.
I would build that into your outline since it runs the length of the. Why not build it into the outline?
Yeah, good point. It's probably not a bad idea to just do that.
In terms of fineness, let's go back to the Animation Master window. And let's look at that big outline again. You're still using that menu for that. Do you not have a number keypad?
Not on this laptop. I'm gonna get one of those little plug-in number pads so that if I'm using one of my other machines that doesn't have a proper keyboard, I can just use that.
Okay, I'm going to grab a screen grab of this thing and drag it into Animation Master here. Okay, let's see. I'll share my screen now.
I can send you the link to this if you want to spin this around.
No, that's okay. I think I'll get it. I needed to save that screen capture. Let's see. I'll start a new folder for this. What is this thing called?
It is called a. Hold on. Republic Acclamator Class Assault Ship. Yeah.
ACAS. Okay, I'll save this outline.
Sure you don't want the link?
No, I just want to look at your outline basically here.
Oh.
Images, import, image, and access. Okay, I'm going to make this as a rotoscope temporarily in a model. And I'm going to make it slightly visible. Okay. How big is this thing across?
Like in kilometers?
Well, how big are you modeling it?
I figure for scale, it's probably at least like a kilometer long.
Oh. But you're not. How big are you modeling it?
Oh, God, I don't know. I didn't really look at the scale.
Okay, well, I'll just pick something then. Today it's 50 centimeters across.
That sounds good to me.
Okay, your outline right now, I mean, it's the shape, but it's, you only have one CP at these vertex points.
Right.
Like so. Let me just do the top part of it here. And I presume you've probably peaked those?
Yeah.
Okay. So, if I extrude that now, we have very unnaturally sharp edges. If I build bevels into the outline, to get my, I can dramatically simplify my future modeling task.
Right.
And also the model will look better. I'm going to get rid of.
Yeah, I forgot about bevels.
So let's just. So basically, we want 2 CPs at every corner. Where's my, I need to make this unpickable. There we go. And I need to make this much more transparent. come on. I'm having mouse and cursor trouble here. So let's start at this corner. I'm going to put 2 here. Why am I not seeing anything? Oh, I've got... Oh, I was in just plain shaded mode, that's why. It's almost as if I don't know how to use this program. So I'm going to make 2 at every corner here, even in these little shallow corners. And since this is symmetrical, I'm going to try and use copy flip attach here. And I'll continue this thing down here. 2, and let's see, this is exactly the hardest place to make a bevel is on this thing that I'm going to try and copy flip attach, but we'll fix that later. Okay, let's put these really close together. Actually, I forgot to do that inset, so why don't I do that too while we're here. Well, let's see. So I want to add some CPs to this thing so I can drag it in. I'll use the Y key to add a few CPs here. Bring that in like that. And I'm just eyeballing this. Bring that down. I could put a bevel on these inside ones too.
Yeah, that's about right.
Notice that when the closer we get these 2 beveling CPs, the straighter the spline on the other side gets, which is a very handy thing. Okay, let's see here. Boom, boom, boom. I need one. Let's add one here. And the closer I move these together, the sharper my corner will be. You probably want it to be pretty sharp. Let's look this one. Get that, sharpen that up. Get this sharper, sharper there. I want these on the same level, so I'm just going to scale them down like that. I want this one and this one on the same level. So a better way to do that is to actually use the transform scale. And as I'm scaling this on X, so I'll make that 0. And now those are exactly. Move these together to get that down. Let's make sure these 2 are, I need to scale those on Y. Now those are exactly flat. Okay, we're getting better here. Okay, I need some more bevel points here. Let's add one here. My good mouse gave out, and so I'm having lots of trouble moving my stuff around. Okay, looks like we're getting an outline here. Oh, let's get this one too. Skinny that up. Skinny this one up. Let's get these 2 should be on the same level. And I'll scale those again. Transform, let's see, I need to scale that on Y. Okay, so I've got my bevels built in. The other thing, you notice that these things in between aren't exactly straight. Now, since version 19, we have this thing where you can hold down. First of all, I've got show biases on.
Right.
So we're seeing that handle. And if I hold down the Alt key and jiggle this, it'll point exactly to the next CP. So now this thing is exactly straight. I can do that for all of these. See, this doesn't look quite vertical. But I'm going to do that for all these straight lines. All these things that are supposed to be straight. I need to move that up a little bit. I think, no. I thought I straightened that, but I can't recall if I did or didn't. But now at least we have a straight line in there now. A lot of these are so close to straight that you might not notice it, but this will make it exactly straight.
Yeah, I don't know what level of accuracy or detail he's looking for here. Like, if this is not meant to be a hero model, then...
Well, we're talking about good practice here.
Right.
So, and it doesn't take much time to do. Okay, so there's, I'm going to save this. Let's see, I've got to find your folder. Roger Pacus. Let's just try extruding that much and see what we get. It's 4. Let's see, E, and scoot that out. There we go. Now it's actually possible to see the edge here.
Right.
If this bevel weren't there, we wouldn't. This would look like one continuous surface because the shading would be exactly the same here as there without this little edge sneaking in there.
Yeah. No, you're right.
So that gets us the outline with bevels, and you can shrink this or taper this according to whatever the. Let's just see. Let's just try that. If I wanted to taper that, show me put your screen up again and show me that thing. Or better yet, why don't you send me the link? Okay, that's it. Is my screen still showing?
Yeah.
Okay.
How much bandwidth do you think these video chats use?
Well, I was getting by on just 4 megabits, so.
Right, but I was looking at my ISP data usage, and it's saying that I uploaded 20 gigabytes in the last month. So I'm trying to figure out how the hell that's possible.
Do you have a limit?
I'm not anywhere near the limit. I'm just wondering what the hell I'm uploading that's taking up that much data.
It could be, I don't know. Maybe someone else is using your connection.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. I'm going to have a look at my logs and make sure I don't have any unusual things connecting to my system.
Now, this thing gets more complicated because, I could see how this shape is a continuation of this one. Basically, kind of, sort of.
Right.
But then this thing has this indentation here. So we could either add more CPs to this straight section of the outline to accommodate this when we get to it. I'll leave that for you to decide. Or you could make this another shape, a separate shape, and just intersect it with this main body. In which case you don't have a bevel here, but, you know, we're time and budget, that kind of stuff.
Right.
I'm just looking at how this inset here goes. It looks like it's, no matter how close we get to the nose, the inset is always the same absolute width itself. So, how would I do that? Maintain that. Okay, do you see Animation Master still?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see, the first section. This is relatively straight, and then he extrudes again. Whoever made the model. Now here comes a decision point. I'm gonna shrink this in, so we're gonna have an angle here. Should I have added another outline to have a bevel there? I'm not gonna do it, but it's something I might consider if this were a hero model.
Right.
So, let's see. If I just shrink this horizontally, this inset's going to get smaller.
Right.
So, let's see here. Let's go to the 2. Instead, okay, I'm going to lock out everything else. Look at this from the front, so I'm going to just grab that whole inset section and move it in. I'm going to grab this part and try scaling it. I'm going to take the gnomon here. I'm going to hit the scale button, and I'm going to move this gnomon to the axis. In fact, I'm going to move it down here. Come on. There we go. And now all the scaling will happen from that point. Without me having to correct for that. So, that looks approximately
Yeah, it's close.
like what we had. Let's see here. Boom. That's not it. Okay, here's an interesting point. We're coming to a nose, but this actual dimension looks like it's staying about the same. But that's not part of the outline I'm doing anyway. Okay, I forgot something. This original outline tapers down to nothing here. If you're doing this red thing as a separate shape, then this part will need to taper down to nothing. So let's go back, rethink that. It would come to about here, so I'm going to delete this. Let's unlock.
So do you think we've lost Tim? This is the second week he's not showing up.
Well, it's late at night for him. It's 2 in the morning.
Well, yeah, it's true. He's in Hong Kong.
He may have other things to sleep about. Let's see. Oops. Come on back here. Let's do E, and I'll go about that far and lock everything else out. So let's see. This comes down to this top plane is coming down. We don't really know what it does because this red thing is in the way. So I'm just going to presume that this plane goes up straight to meet with this plane once we've gotten past this point. Indeed, it does look like that. We can see this thing going all the way down to here. That's probably what the modeler of this particular thing did, is just made this thing go straight down. So, these two vertices come to a point about here. So back to AM. Move this in like I did before a little bit. And shrink this. Let's see, how can I do this so that I'll have to peek this thing here. I should probably do that now. Let's go unlock. Okay, in peeking these things, I don't want to just grab these and hit the P button, because that will peek also the spline that's going along this way that makes the bevel. So I have to carefully pick these splines and do peek, 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 peek. Oops. I did one by accident. Peek. 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 Come on, peek. Okay.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Ouch.
I am doing that bias thing again with the Alt key to get these things at the back to face forward. Straight forward. Of course, if anyone, such as Tim, is watching this and is using version 15, version 15 doesn't have this little bias trick in it yet. So one would have to do this manually, which is a bit more of a hassle. You back yet, Roger? Nope.
Yeah, I just got back. Got Rocky. Dog is trying to usurp my spot. I saw on logs just 5 minutes ago.
As soon as I get out of this chair, the cat will steal it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to lock the stuff that I just... While you were gone, I went and used that bias thing to make sure that these were facing toward this CP. Because apparently just peeking these wasn't enough to get this one back here to face it straight. This one is still curvy, but I think it'll straighten out after I extrude this further. But I want to get this this line straight. So let's see this thing from here to there. And in fact, to do that, I'm going to hide everything else. There we go. Now, I want this thing straight. Let's see. This may be trickier than I thought to get all these angles to line up.
Yeah, it's deceptively simple looking, and then you start digging into it, and it's like, oh god, this is a nightmare.
Yep. Okay. So now, if I unhide, if I extrude forward to my nose point, let's do an E. Let's drag it forward with the cursor key. About that far. Maybe we'll find out how far. Unlock. I'm gonna lock everything except the front. I'm gonna grab this inset section. Let's see. Getting close here.
Rocky, will you quit trying to poke me in the gut, your snout?
Okay. Does that look like I'm straight along here yet?
Close, yeah.
Probably close enough. Need to move this thing up. I'm going to peek this.
Hey, back it off.
Go. Oh, we've got kind of a torqued, this shape here. How did I, make that? I guess, let's see. I've got a four-sided patch that isn't actually a plane anymore. I guess I could fix that by raising this up. And moving this point horizontally. I'm going to hold down the 1 key. You know what? I think I know why this shape is here. because of the difficulty. Okay, I'm going to guess that in this model, this surface is separate from this surface. They're actually, they're just intersecting solids.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And that solves him the problem of trying to make all these things, to make this flat and this flat while also intersecting with this. A little tricky to do all as one shape. And also, this thing hides the complication of where this stuff all meets eventually.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah, my plan was to just do the that back hump, and then the wing, right? And then figure out how to do that middle hump and the front hump separately.
Well, if you eliminated this part, let's say our outline. Let's go back to our outline. If you made the wing as one shape, so you'd have this stuff, you'd have this inset, and then you continued this line on up to about here. That's what you could extrude for your wing and narrow that down to a point, and then make another outline that you could extrude for this big dome on the top.
Right.
And then you wouldn't have the nice little bevel here, but if you intersected it, this interior thing is not quite as much of a outrage as far as beveling as these exterior ones. These are the ones that really need it because they're on an outside corner. There's the possibility, without the bevel, there's the possibility of this surface and this surface looking the same. Whereas you don't really have that problem here between these two surfaces. And so you could get away with not having a bevel here. But if I were trying to do this, hero production, I wouldn't be looking at this. I'd be looking at the actual movie shot of the thing, because this is obviously a simplified set of geometric shapes that someone has cobbled together.
Right.
And it's not the actual. If I were making it for a movie, this would not do in any event.
Yeah, this is really all I was given to go on, so I could try and find some better reference photos. They might have a technical manual or something online with like a, exploded diagram.
But doing it at that level would be many, many hours.
Yeah, and it's like, I'm doing this as a favor.
Yeah, it's an exercise. It's a modeling exercise.
Right.
So this gives us a general sense. And all this stuff on this stuff, this is obviously a decal of some sort. But
right.
What have they got in the center? Are these like little control people windows? I guess that's what they are.
Yeah, I think that's what those are meant to be.
Little protrusions that they've got randomly sticking out along the side. It's basically, like that one we see at the beginning of Star Wars, I guess, right?
It's pretty close to that. It's just
similar in concept, but not exactly the same model.
Right.
The one in Star Wars I don't recall it having this tail.
No, it didn't. It just had
the thing
sort
that
of
Darth Vader was riding in.
Yeah.
That actually makes this look smaller in some way. And if they ever fire up their engines, they're going to burn their tail off. So I don't know what they're thinking there.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they have some sort of a design technical feature that minimizes that. I don't know.
Let's try But we have the approximate thing here going on here with bevels. This geometric problem, mating this to this, would still be there even without the bevels if you're trying to do it all in one shape. The problem is this thing right here, that patch, getting this flat surface to mate down to this one and shrink them exactly evenly so that these four corners remain coplanar. That's a little tricky.
It is a bit of a bugaboo.
I suppose doing it down to, let's do another save. If I shrink this down to a point, let's see what happens. I'll move my Gnomon to the corner here. And shrink this down now. Okay, that will probably make this more of a plane. And then somewhere along here is where the other shape is intersecting. And you could probably terminate some of these extra beveling splines and hooks, maybe. They're a little close together. I guess we would go down here and shrink this thing. There's a lot of things that need to be straightened out here. Okay. Do a peak. Do a peak. Do a peak. Do a peak. Peak. Okay, now we're getting flatter. And then this top stuff would be hidden by that red shape.
Right. Yeah, that would be best, I think, to just drop in as a separate object.
But I think you do want this inset here somehow. I think that adds a lot to the to the general shape. Why is this still?
Can you copy flip attach it just to see what it would look like?
Yeah, let's do that. Get these things fixed before I do that. Okay. Let's see what happens. I'll do a save again. Okay. Let's make sure our center spline, let's see, this one, because I wanted that little bevel on the bottom, I'm going to leave this not attached, not on the center. And then we'll manually attach that. Let's just see how that goes. I'm going to select the center spline. I'm going to do, and do scale group to x equals 0. And now we'll select the whole thing. I'll hold on Shift and select the CP that is on that center spline. Cross your fingers. Copy, flip, attach.
Yeah, it came out pretty good.
There we go. And the bottom, my plan. Let's see, what would be an easy way to span across these? How about if I select this spline, I need the underhand. This is the underside view. I've selected the spline on one side. I'm going to hide everything else just for clarity. And I'm going to extrude this out just slightly. E. And tap it out just a few cursors. And now I'm going to select the spline that runs along that new extrusion. I'm going to hit comma to select that whole spline. Then I'm going to hit delete. And that leaves me with just little pigtails here. That I can take over and attach. I'll unhide. There we go. This is working. I just want to see the underside of this ship.
Ouch.
And so I have these pigtails. I can go and attach this to the other side. Now, doing it on the end here is tricky because I want it to attach to the spline going this way and not the spline going this way. Mm-hmm. What I really need to do is click on just the outside of this spline here and hit Y. And that got me that new spline. I can attach these two together and then delete this. And now that's properly joined. And I'll have to do the same thing down here. I'll try to carefully click just beyond the end of that spline and then hit Y. And where did my new CP end up? It's all the way over here. Attach this to that and then delete it. And now that is successfully spanned. And now I have a nice little bevel there on the underside. The other option, the faster option, would have been to make this be a center spline and then copy, flip, attach would have just connected both sides.
All right.
I mean, as I look at I don't see a lot of beveling going on here.
No, it's pretty nice edge.
They've kind of hidden it by having the decal make a little black line right along the edge, and that kind of looks nice. That solves the problem. But then you've got to get your decal placed exactly right and paint it exactly right. Not that doing things exactly right is something you don't want to do anyway, but they also, I look at the, we've got a little decal line here at this intersection that helps hide this.
You know I'm assuming that's the bridge, that pickle-looking thing on the top. Yeah.
Maybe it's the escape pod.
I'm going with bridge.
It's probably detachable, like in Star Trek.
Could be. Never know.
Hey, cat, be quiet.
Is your cat still just cat?
What does that mean?
Well, I can't remember if you named it.
Oh, it's the name is Stripes.
Okay.
But she doesn't really recognize that in any sense. Mostly it's hey you when I have to talk to the cat. It'd be interesting to know if this cat ever had a name in its previous life, but I'll never know.
Not unless somebody got it chipped and you had the vet scan it, but that's unlikely.
Now that I know that cut off ear means it was a cat that was spayed, you know, that's what they do to feral cats that have been spayed, is they cut the tip of the ear off.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So that you know that's what has happened. You know that feral, you don't have to recapture that feral cat and respay it or anything.
I did not know that. That's kind of interesting.
So I only found that out a few months ago. So I don't know. Did someone regard this as a feral cat? It's too domestic to be a completely feral cat.
Yeah, no, it sounds like a pet that had escaped at some point, maybe early on, after like a year or so.
Yeah. But the fact that she came and just took up residence in my basement, I get the sense that that she was abandoned immediately prior to that. And she was looking for a house to move into. That she had a home somewhere, and for some reason, that's no longer available.
Well, there are a lot of people that have been surrendering their pets because they are, losing their apartments or their house because they can't keep up with the mortgage anymore, and they can't, they're moving into temporary accommodations and can't take the pet with them. So it's very. That
was kind of my working theory, is that someone either died or got evicted from their apartment.
Yeah.
And the cat didn't get, either got scared off in the move or didn't get taken along.
Right.
And so, or someone drove by in a car and said, "Goodbye, cat," and just dropped it on the curb,
Yeah,
that happens too.
People, I don't know why people do the stuff they do. Sometimes I think they think it's better than taking the animal to a shelter where it's for sure going to get killed at some point.
Yeah.
But
that could be the thinking. It's the modern day equivalent of putting the cats in a bag and dropping them off the bridge.
Yeah, that's grim.
Well, let's see. I'll send you this thing here, and you can use it as you wish.
Yeah, I might use that as a base to elaborate from.
But there is my my essay on modeling a starship. This point, let's look at this a little bit better here. Okay, this should probably go straight up, shouldn't it? This should be a straight line here.
Yeah.
Let's try moving this.
That's better.
Till it's straight. And now, here's some more things I have to peek. Peek. I should have done this before I copy, flip, attached. But, let's see here. How about this one? One looks okay. It was just this bottom stuff. Pretty straight, we can't see the join there. I'll resave that. And I'll send that to you on the forum.
Appreciate it.
Any other Animation Master problems or questions before we close here?
Nope. Well, you saw that I have a working copy now, so I had.
Oh, yeah, good.
Yeah,
good.
I should have gotten a license a while back. I'm sort of ashamed of it.
Do you remember my tutorial on how to make a visible keypad on the screen so you don't have to keep searching through this menu?
Yeah, vaguely.
If you look for it in my list of tutorials, look for keypad. Do a search on the word keypad, and that will show you how to make a custom toolbar that will put those various controls in a keypad arrangement, and you can just have that sitting on the corner of your screen here and punch that every time you want to change your view.
Got it.
Instead of having to go
that is a pain.
And find the one you want. I've never used that menu in my life.
Yeah, it's a bad habit that I latched onto when I had a machine with no numpad.
Okay. Good talking to Roger. An interesting modeling problem here. I enjoyed giving that a go.
Yeah, I thought that might make a good foray back
a case study is what we would call this. A case study for a shape.
Definitely.
Okay, good talking to Roger. I'll probably post this video sometime in the future. Until next week, I'll see you on the forum.
Yep, good talking to you, Rob. Take it easy.
So long.
Bye.